welcome to Rising Scripts. Welcome back, Shalom, man. I'm out here playing that thing like King David. Oh, playing that thing like King David, man. Trying to hear some beautiful sounds in the morning. Well, we back at it with the book of Jasher, man. We here with Rising Scripts today, man. We're about to get back into the book of Jasher today. The ancient book of Jasher, as referenced in Joshua 10 and 13, 2 Samuel 1 and 18, and 2 Timothy 3 and 8, man. We stopped on chapter 20. So we're going to read 20, 21, and 22. 23 and 24 are both long chapters, so we're not going to get to that today. We'll wait probably till tomorrow. Lord, spare life. Lord, spare life. I get my ass up and I come read to try to see what I need so I can succeed, to see what it is and what it ain't, what I can and what I can't, and the do's and the don'ts that the Most High has set before us. So we're going to do so. But before we get into that, cabbage! But before we get into that, we're going to go ahead and send up the trumpet sound. Blow the trumpet. Blow the trumpet, man. So that way we can give reverence and send some gratitude up to the Most High, man. Blow the trumpet. Blow the trumpet. If you have one. If you have one, blow it up. If you don't, oh well. You know, hey, pray. Thank the Most High for every breath that you have to breathe. You know? So I'm going to blow up the trumpet like Asaph and them. Oh, man. All right. But I like making noises. People be like, what the fuck is that? What is that? You hear that? That's a trumpet, baby. It's a trumpet, Shalom. What up, Miss Boxy? It's the trumpet in that thing. Chapter 20, man. We're on chapter 20. Abraham and the Philistines. What Abraham gonna do, man? Abraham been working that thing all along in his time. Abraham been here, there, a little bit everywhere. Abram's name was changed to Abraham. Then Sarah's name was changed to Sarah. They then went and destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Burned that motherfucker down. All 5 cities. They took Lot and his wife, Adu. Adu looked back because her daughters that didn't leave Sodom and Gomorrah and turned to a pillar of salt, and they said the ox will come lick it up. It will come lick it up all day long until there was none left. And when the ox returned the next day, it was back the same way it was the first day. Never ending salt. All you can eat salt buffet for Adu. And then lots of children then got him drunk and slept with him and had some children with him. So now he walking around with his sons, grandsons. Some backwoods shit going on with Lot and them. And now we get to chapter 20, Abraham and the Philistines. Let's see what it is. What it is and what it ain't. And at that time, my eyes blurring. And at that time, Abraham journeyed from the plain of Mamre, and he went to the land of the Philistines, and he dwelt in Gerar. And it was in the 25th year of Abraham's being in the land of Canaan, and the 100th year of the life of Abraham, that he came to Gerar in the land of the Philistines. And when they entered the land, he said to Sarah his wife, "Say thou art my sister, and to anyone that shall ask thee, in order that we may escape the evil of the inhabitants of the land." Oh, this is the second time. This is the second time Abraham didn't ask Sarah to say that you was my sister. Man, the people gonna kill me, Sarah. Man, hey, man, you're too fine. Even at 99, you're still fine. They gonna want you. They gonna be like little Boosie. And when they entered the land, he said to Sarah, his wife, "Say thou art my sister." Let's see, second time. To write that down. That's my sister. Your sister fine. Oh, you think so? Ooh, you lucky you ain't a man, because if you was a man, I'd have killed you. To anyone that shall ask thee, and in order that we may escape the evil of the inhabitants of the land. And as Abraham was dwelling in the land of the Philistines, the servants of Abimelech, king of the Philistines, saw that Sarah was exceedingly beautiful. Ooh, that's a bad mama jamma right now. And they asked Abraham concerning her, and he said, "She is my sister." And the servants of Abimelech went to Abimelech, saying, "A man from the land of Canaan is come to dwell in the land, and he has a sister that is exceeding fair." And that thing fine, that thing fine like wine. I'm trying to tell you, King Abimelech, man, you gotta see her. You gotta see her. When I first saw her, oh, I ain't never seen nothing like this woman. Oh man. Kapow, kapow, kapow. Pretty in the face and thin in the waist. And Abimelech heard the words of his servants, who praised Sarah to him. And Abimelech sent his officers, and he brought Sarah to the king. And they brought Sarah to the king, And Sarah came to the house of Abimelech, and the king saw that Sarah was beautiful, and she pleased him exceedingly. Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You was right, baby. Oh, that thing fine right there. Oh, I like that. And Abimelech said to Sarah, "Behold, my land is before thee. Place thy brother in any part of this land that pleases thee, and it will be our duty to exalt and elevate him above all the people of the land, since he is thy brother." And Abimelech sent for Abraham, and Abraham came to Abimelech. And Abimelech said to Abraham, "Behold, I have given orders that thou shalt be honored as thou desirest on account of thy fine-ass sister Sarah." On account of Sarah, of thy sister Sarah. What they call that these days, I think they call that pretty privilege. Sarah was getting that pretty privilege, and Abraham was about to get some reward off that pretty privilege. And Abraham went forth from the king, and the king's presence followed him. As at evening time, before men lie down to rest, the king was sitting upon his throne, and a deep sleep fell upon him. And he lay upon the throne and slept till the morning. And he dreamed that an angel of the Lord came to him with the drawn sword in his hand, and the angel stood over Abimelech and wished to slay him with the sword. And the king was terrified in his dream, and said to the angel, "In what have I sinned against thee, that thou comest to slay me with thy sword?" And the angel answered and said to Abimelech, "Behold, thou diest on account of the woman which thou didst yesternight bring to thy house. For she is a married woman, the wife of Abraham, who came to thy house. Now therefore return that man his wife, for she is his wife. And shouldest thou not return her, thou know that thou wilt surely die, thou and all belonging to thee." And on that night there was a great outcry in the land of the Philistines, and the inhabitants of the land saw the figure of a man standing with the drawn sword in his hand, and he smote the inhabitants of the land with the sword. And yea, he continued to smite them. And the angel of the Lord smote the whole land of the Philistines on that night. Man, it sound like the angel of death right there. It sound like the same thing whenever Israel was leaving out of Egypt for Passover. And every womb was closed. My bad. And the angel of the Lord smote the whole land of the Philistines on that night. And there was a great confusion on that night and on the following morning. And every womb was closed, and all their issues. And the hand of the Lord was upon them on account of Sarah, wife of Abraham, whom Abimelech had taken. And in the morning, Abimelech rose with terror and confusion and with a great dread. And he sent and had his servants called in, and he related his dream to them. And the people were greatly afraid. And one man standing amongst the servants of the king answered the king, saying, "O sovereign king, restore this woman to her husband, for he is her husband. For the like happened to the king of Egypt when this man came to Egypt. And he said concerning his wife, She is my sister, for such is his manner of doing when he cometh to dwell in a land in which he is a stranger. And Pharaoh sent and took this woman for a wife, and the Lord brought upon him grievous plagues until he returned the woman to her husband. Now therefore, O sovereign king, know what happened yesternight to the whole land. For there was a very great consternation and a great pain and lamentation. And we know that it was on account of the woman which thou didst take." Sit her ass back. Get your refund. "Now therefore, restore this woman to her husband, lest it should befall us, as it did to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his subjects, and that we may not die." And Abimelech hastened and called and had Sarah called for, and she came before him. And he had Abraham called for, and he came before him. And Abimelech said to them, "What is this work you have been doing and saying you are brother and sister? And I took this woman for a wife. I'm going to marry that dusty foot." And Abraham said, "Because I thought I should suffer death on account of my wife." And Abimelech took flocks and herds and men servants and maid servants and 1,000 pieces of silver and gave them to Abraham, and he returned Sarah to him. And Abimelech said to Abraham, "Behold, the whole land is before thee. Dwell in it wherever thou shalt choose." And Abraham and Sarah his wife went forth from the king's presence with honor and respect, and they dwelt in the land, even in Gerar. And all the inhabitants of the land of the Philistines and the king's servants were still in pain, though the plague which the angel had inflicted upon them the whole night on account of Sarah. Through. For Abraham, saying, "Pray now for thy servants, thy God, that he may put away this mortality from amongst us." And Abraham prayed on account of Abimelech and his subjects. And the Lord heard the prayer of Abraham, and he healed Abimelech and all his subjects. chapter 21, Isaac born. Big Isaac. Big. And it was at that time, at the end of the year and 4 months of Abraham's dwelling in the land of the Philistines and Ger, that God visited Sarah, and the Lord remembered her, and she conceived and bare a son to Abraham. And Abraham called the name of the son which was born to him, which Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac at 8 days old, as God had commanded Abraham to do unto his seed after him. And Abraham was 100, and Sarah 90 years old. Pooh, big 90, and still fine. When Isaac was born to them. And the child grew up, and he was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast upon the day that Isaac was weaned. And Shem, and Eber, and all the great people of the land, and Abimelech, king of the Philistines, and his servants, and Phicol, the captain of his host, came to eat and drink and rejoice at the feast which Abraham made upon the day of his son Isaac's being weaned. Also Terah, father of Abraham, and Nahor, his brother, came from Haran, they and all belonging to them, for they greatly rejoiced on hearing that the son had been born to Sarah. And they came to Abraham, and they ate and drank at the feast which Abraham made upon the day that Isaac's being weaned. And Terah and Nahor rejoiced with Abraham, and they remained with him many days in the land of the Philistines. I'm trying to see my grandson. Isaac. And at that time, Serug, the son of Reu, died in the first year of the birth of Isaac, son of Abraham. And all the days of Serug were 239 years, and he died. And Ishmael, the son of Abraham, was grown up in those days. He was 14 years old when Sarah bare Isaac to Abraham. And God was with Ishmael, the son of Abraham, and he grew up, and he learned to use the bow and became an archer. Let me mark that too right there. Ishmael was 14. I think that's the Bible, in the Bible, when reading the King James or any version, NIV, whatever, when reading it, it kind of portrays that Ishmael was a baby when Hagar was sent away. Ishmael was a baby. That's what the Bible portrays. But right here, Ishmael is still there. Isaac is born, and Ishmael is 14 years old. That puts a different outlook on the story, and also on even the thought of Hagar leaving, because Ishmael, if he was 14 when Hagar left, Ishmael was old enough to help Hagar. She wasn't just out there. And when Isaac was 5 years old, he was sitting with Ishmael at the door of the tent. And Ishmael came to Isaac and seated himself opposite of him. And he took the bow and drew it and put the arrow in it and intended to slay Isaac. And Sarah saw the act which Ishmael desired to do to her Isaac, and it grieved her exceedingly on account of her son. And she sent for Abraham and said to him, "Cast out this bondwoman and her son shall not be heir with my son, for thus did he seek to do unto him this day." That also is a good reason to tell Hagar to leave and to say, "I don't want Ishmael here." It's almost like they was playing with guns. Like they was playing with guns, and Ishmael took that gun and pointed it to Isaac. "I'll kill you. Say something. Say something. Say something I don't like, Isaac. I'll lay you out." And the mama saw it. Sarah saw that shit. And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarah, and he rose up early in the morning. And he took 12 loaves and a bottle of water, which he gave to Hagar, and sent her away with her son. And Hagar went with her son to the wilderness. And they dwelt in the wilderness of Paran with the inhabitants of the wilderness. And Ishmael was an archer, and he dwelt in the wilderness a long time. And he and his mother afterward went to the land of Egypt, and they dwelt there. And Hagar took a wife for her son from Egypt, and her name was Meribah. And the wife of Ishmael conceived and bare 4 sons and 2 daughters. And Ishmael and his mother and his wife and children afterward went and returned to the wilderness. And they made themselves tents in the wilderness, in which they dwelt, and they continued to travel and then to rest monthly and yearly. And God gave Ishmael flocks and herds and tents on account of Abraham his father, and the man increased in cattle. And Ishmael dwelt in deserts and in tents, traveling and resting for a long time. And he did not see the face of his father. And then sometime after, Abraham said to Sarah his wife, I will go and see my son Ishmael, for I have a desire to see him, for I have not seen him for a long time. I wonder how he knew where he was. Talking about, I'm going to go see Ishmael. It's not like they had GPS. It's not like they had cell phones where he could, hey, send me your location. Send me the addy. I'm going to pop in on you. I'm going to drop in on you. Pull up. I'm about to pull up Ishmael. And Abraham rode upon one of his camels to the wilderness to seek his son Ishmael. And he heard that he was dwelling in a tent in the wilderness with all belonging to him. And Abraham went to the wilderness, and he reached the tent of Ishmael about noon. And he asked after Ishmael. And he found the wife of Ishmael sitting in the tent with her children. And Ishmael her husband and his mother were not with them. And Abraham asked the wife of Ishmael, saying, Where has Ishmael gone? And she said, He has gone to the field to hunt. And Abraham was still mounted upon the camel, and he would not get off to the ground, as he had sworn to his wife Sarah that he would not get off from the camel. And Abraham said to Ishmael's wife, My daughter, give me a little water that I may drink, for I am fatigued from my journey. And Ishmael's wife answered and said to Abraham, We have neither water nor bread, and continued sitting in the tent, and did not notice Abraham, neither did she ask him who he was. Boy, that's not the type of woman you want right there, baby. She ain't got no, what they would call that? I get what, Southern hospitality. She ain't got no hospitality. But she was beating her children in the tent, and she was cursing them. And she was cursed, and she also cursed her husband Ishmael and reproached him. Ooh, talking bad about her husband. I wish we never got married. I hate him. And Abraham heard the words of Ishmael's wife to her children, and he was very angry and displeased. And Abraham called to the woman to come out to him from the tent, and the woman came and stood opposite to Abraham, for Abraham was still mounted upon the camel. And Abraham said to Ishmael's wife, When thy husband Ishmael returneth home, say these words to him. A very old man from the land of the Philistines came hither. A very old man. Came hither. So, okay, let's see. How, he was 5, a very old man. So they got sent away when Ishmael was 14 and Isaac was 5. I was trying to see if it had I was trying to do the math. Because, I mean, Abraham was 105 at the time when Ishmael got sent away. I'm trying to see how old is a very old man. That's what I was trying to figure out. A very old man from the land of the Philistines came hither to seek thee, and thus was his appearance and figure. I did not ask him who he was, and seeing thou was not here, he spoke unto me and said, when Ishmael thy husband returneth, tell him thus did this man say. When thou comest home, put away this nail of the tent which thou hast placed here, and place another nail in its stead. And Abraham finished his instructions to the woman, and he turned and went off on the camel homeward. And after that Ishmael came from the chase, he and his mother, and returned to the tent, and his wife spoke these words to him. A very old man from the land of the Philistines came to seek thee, and thus was his appearance and figure. And I did not ask him who he was. And seeing thou was not at home, he said to me, when thou husband come home, tell him, thus saith the old man, put away the nail of the tent which thou hast placed here, and place another nail in its stead. Pooh, Abraham would have got banned off of TikTok for saying Abraham would have got banned. And Ishmael heard the words of his wife, and he knew that it was his father, and that his wife did not honor him. And Ishmael understood his father's words that he had spoken to his wife. And Ishmael hearkened to the voice of his father. And Ishmael cast the woman and sent her away. How many people would do that today? How many people daddy around at least till they was 14 like Abraham? Abraham was around Ishmael till he was 14. So that's 14 years of him teaching him and, getting to learn his daddy and learn each other and have a bond built. And how many of y'all, if your daddy come, male or female, well, it's going to be male. If your daddy come and your daddy say that the woman you with, not a good woman, and you need to find you another one, how many of y'all are going to listen to your father and say, well, shit, my father knows better than me. He knows better than me, and he said, get rid of that woman and find you another one. Would you do so? Would you do it? Or would you be like, but daddy, I love her. She's a woman of my dreams. And Ishmael understood his father's words that he had spoken to his wife, and Ishmael hearkened to the voice of his father, and Ishmael cast off the woman, and she went away. And Ishmael afterward went to the land of Canaan, and he took another wife, and he brought her to his tent, to the place where he then dwelt. And at the end of 3 years, Abraham said, I will go again to see Ishmael, my son, for I have not seen him for a long time. And he rode upon his camel and went to the wilderness, and he reached the tent of Ishmael about noon. And he asked after Ishmael, and his wife came out of the tent, and she said, he is not here, my lord, for he has gone to hunt in the fields and to feed the camels. And the woman said to Abraham, turn in, my lord, into the tent and eat a morsel of bread, for thy soul must be wearied on account of the journey. And Abraham said to her, I will not stop, for I am in haste to continue my journey, but give me a little water to drink, for I have thirst. And the woman hastened and ran into the tent, and she brought out water and bread to Abraham, which she placed before him, and she urged him to eat. And he ate and drank, and his heart was comforted, and he blessed his son Ishmael. Oh, now this is a good woman right here. Oh, this is a good woman. Oh, he found him a good one. And he finished his meal, and he blessed the Lord and said to Ishmael's wife, when Ishmael cometh home, say these words to him. A very old man from the land of the Philistines came hither and said after thee. and asked after thee, and thou wast not here. And I brought him out bread and water, and he ate and drank, and his heart was comforted. And he spoke these words to me. And when Ishmael thy husband cometh home, say unto him, the nail of the tent which thou hast is very good. Do not put it away from the tent. Don't fuck her up. Don't mess her over. Hey, keep this one. Hey, this one right here. Magnifique. Keep her. That other one, trash. 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 Oh, Lord, spare my life. Lord, spare my life. I can get through the custody humbug that I'm going through right now with my sons, and I can continue to be a constant figure in my son's life like I have been since the day they were born. And my sons and I can have the type of bond where I could talk to them and tell them what's the deal and what's the real. And I could be like, man, that girl don't like you. And they listen, you know, because I'm not doing it out of malice, hatred, or envy, jealousy, all these different things. I'm doing it out of love for my sons and want them to be happy and want them to be with a woman who truly loves them, respects them, desires them, adores them, caters to them, nurtures them. All the things I would want for myself is the things I would want for my sons. And if I see that nail ain't good, trash. And Abraham finished commanding the woman, and he rode off to his home to the land of the Philistines. And when Ishmael came to his tent, his wife went forth to meet him with joy and a cheerful heart. Baby, hey, come here, baby. Man, this old man came today. How's your day? Did you hunt? You kill? Let me get it. Here's some water. I made lemonade. Yeah. And she said to him, an old man came here from the land of the Philistines, and thus was his appearance. And he asked after thee, and thou wast not here. So I brought him out bread and water, and he ate and drank, and his heart was comforted. And he spoke these words to me. And when Ishmael thy husband cometh home, say to him, the nail of the tent which thou hast is very good, and do not put it away from the tent. And Ishmael knew that it was his father, and that his wife had honored him. And the Lord blessed Ishmael. Chapter 22. The last chapter right here. And Ishmael then rose up and took his wife and his children and his cattle and all belonging to him. And he journeyed from there. And he went to his father in the land of the Philistines. And Abraham related to Ishmael his son the transaction with the first wife that Ishmael took according to what she did. And Ishmael and his children dwelt with Abraham many days in that land. And Abraham dwelt in the land of the Philistines a long time. And the days increased and reached 26 years. And after that, Abraham with his servants and all belonging to him went from the land of the Philistines and removed to a great distance. And they came near to Hebron, and they remained there. And the servants of Abraham dug wells of water. And Abraham and all belonging to him dwelt by the water. And the servants of Abimelech, king of the Philistines, heard the report of that Abraham's servants had dug wells of water on the borders of the land. And they came and quarreled with the servants of Abraham, and they robbed them of the great well which Abraham had dug. And Abimelech, king of the Philistines, heard of this affair, and he with Phicol, the captain of the host, and 20 of his men came to Abraham, and Abimelech spoke to Abraham concerning his servants. And Abraham rebuked Abimelech concerning the well of which his servants had robbed him. What verse is that? That's we're on verse 7. Oh, my bad. I need to get some. Ooh, get it. And Abimelech said to Abraham, as the Lord liveth, who created the whole earth, I did not hear of the act which my servants did unto thy servants until this day. And Abraham took 7 ewe lambs and gave them to Abimelech. Saying, take these, I pray thee, from my hands, that it may be a testimony for me that I dug this well. And Abimelech took the 7 ewe lambs which Abraham had given to him, for he had also given him cattle and herds in abundance. And Abimelech swore to Abraham concerning the well. Therefore, he called that well Beersheba, for there they both swore concerning it. And they both made a covenant in Beersheba. And Abimelech rose up with Phicol, the captain of the host, and all his men, and they returned to the land of the Philistines. And Abraham and all belonging to him dwelt in Beersheba, and he was in that land a long time. Yeah, 26 years, but the other one was a long time. Shit. And Abraham planted a large grove in Beersheba, and he made to it 4 gates facing the 4 sides of the earth. And he planted a vineyard in it, so that if a traveler came to Abraham, he entered any gate which was in his road, and remained there, and ate and drank and satisfied himself, and then departed. For the house of Abraham was always open to the sons of men that passed and repassed, who came daily to eat and drink in the house of Abraham. And any man who had hunger and came to Abraham's house, Abraham would give him bread, that he might eat and drink and be satisfied. And anyone that came naked to his house, he would clothe with garments as he might choose, and gave him silver and gold, and make known to him the Lord who had created him in the earth. And this did Abraham all his life. And Abraham and his children and all belonging to him dwelt in Beersheba, and he pitched his tent as far as Hebron. And Abraham's brother Nahor and his father and all belonging to them dwelt in Haran, for they did not come with Abraham to the land of Canaan. And the children were born to Nahor, which Maliah, the daughter of Haran and sister to Sarah, Abraham's wife, bare to him. And these are the names of those that were born to him: Uz, Buz, Kemuel, Chesed, Chazot, Pildash, Tidlaph, and Bethuel, being 8 sons. These are the children of Milcah. Excuse me. I said her name wrong before. Milcah, the sister of Sarah, daughter of Haran. And these are the 8 sons. These are the children of Milcah, which she bare to Nahor, Abraham's brother. And Nahor had a concubine, and her name was Reumah. And she would also bear to Nahor Zabak, Gachash, Tuchash, Maachah, being 4 sons. And the children that were born to Nahor were 12 sons besides his daughters, and they also had children born to them in Haran. And the children of Uz, the firstborn of Nahor, were Abi, Cherif, Gadin, Melus, and Deborah, their sister. And the sons of Buz were Berachel, Naamath, Shiva, and Maduna. And the sons of Kemuel were Aram and Rechab. And the sons of Chesed were Anamlech, Mashai, Banan, and Yifi. And the sons of Chozot were Pildash, Michi, and Ophir. And the sons of Pildash were Arud, Chamum, Mered, and Malak. And the sons of Tidlaph were Mushan, Kushan, and Mutzi. And the children of Bethuel were Shechar, Laban, and their sister Rebekah. Laban. I wonder if that's that same Laban that or Isaac's wife or Jacob. Yeah, the same Laban that Jacob went got the two sisters from his daughters. I wonder. I'm gonna mark it and put a question mark by it. Laban. Bethuel. If so, he's a grandson of Nahar and the son of Bethuel. These are the families of the children of Nahar that were born to them in Haran. And Aram, the son of Kemuel, and Rechab, his brother, went away from Haran, and they found a valley in the land of the river Euphrates. And they built a city there, and they called the name of that city after the name of Pether, the son of Aram. And that is Aram Naharaim, unto this day. And the children of Chesed also went to dwell where they could find a place. And they went and they found the valley opposite of the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they there built themselves a city, and they called the name of that city Chesed, after the name of their father. And that is the land Kasdim unto this day. And Kasdim dwelt in the land, and they were fruitful and multiplied exceedingly. And Terah, father of Nahar and Abraham, went and took another wife in his old age, and her name was Pelilah. And she conceived and bare him a son, and he called his name Zoba. And Terah lived 25 years after he begat Zoba. And Terah died in that year, and that is in the 35th year of the birth of Isaac, the son of Abraham. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and he was buried in Haran. And Zoba, the son of Terah, lived 30 years, and he begat Aram, Achlis, and Marik. And Aram, son of Zoba, son of Terah, had 3 wives, and he begat 12 sons and 3 daughters. And the Lord gave to Aram, the son of Zoba, riches and possessions and abundance of cattle and flocks and herds, and the man increased greatly. That boy had 3 wives. We had 3 wives. Zoba had 3 wives, and he begat 12 sons and 3 daughters. 15 children. He begat 15 children. And Aram, the son of Zoba, and his brother and all his household journeyed from Haran. And they went to dwell where they should find a place, for their property was too great to remain in Haran, for they could not stop in Haran together with their brethren and children of Nahar. And Aram, the son of Zoba, went with his brethren, and they found a valley at the distance toward the eastern country, and they dwelt there. And they also built a city there, and they called the name thereof Aram, after the name of their oldest brother. That is Aram Zoba to this day. And Isaac, the son of Abraham, was growing up in those days, and Abraham, his father, taught him the ways of the Lord, to know the Lord, and the Lord was with him. I need to go ahead and mark this other thing down. How old was he? See, okay, that's what I had to go mark down, you see, because at this time, see, Abraham haven't even offered Isaac yet. So once again, in the Bible, or even in the Bible, or how the story is told by people, or in churches, it's put to you like Isaac was a child. Isaac was a child whenever Abraham tried to sacrifice him, or was told to sacrifice him. And at this point in the book of Jasher, Isaac hasn't been sacrificed yet, it's coming up. It's chapter 23. Abraham offers Isaac, but here he is, 35 years old. He is 35 years old already. And when Isaac was 37 years old, Ishmael, his brother, was going about with him in the tent, and Ishmael boasted of himself to Isaac, saying, I was 13 years old when the Lord spoke to me, to my father, to circumcise us. And I did according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke to my father. And I gave my soul unto the Lord, and I did not transgress his word, which he commanded my father. And Isaac answered Ishmael, saying, Why dost thou boast to me about this, about a little bit of thy flesh, which thou take from thy body, concerning which the Lord commanded thee? And as the Lord liveth, the God of my father Abraham, if the Lord should say unto my father, Take now thy son Isaac, and bring him up an offering before me, I would not refrain, but I would joyfully accede to it. Pooh, look how they got started, man. It sounds like a dare. It sounds like a dare. It sounds like they betting, they putting money down. Man, I bet you. God could see, put Isaac, I'm there. He ain't did nothing. You cut that little bit of skin off. Man, that little bit of skin ain't nothing, man. I'll lay down on that thing. And the Lord heard the word that Isaac spoke to Ishmael, and it seemed good in the sight of the Lord. And he thought to try Abraham in this matter. Pooh. Same way he tried Job in my mind. And the day arrived when the sons of God came and placed themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with the sons of God before the Lord, sounding like Job. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said to Satan, What is thy word to me concerning all the children of the earth? And Satan answered the Lord and said, I have seen all the children of the earth who serve thee and remember thee, when they require anything from thee. And when thou givest them the thing which they require from thee, they sit at their ease and forsake thee, and they remember thee no more. Hast thou seen Abraham, the son of Terah, who at first had no children, and he served thee and erected altars to thee wherever he came, and he brought up offerings upon them, and he proclaimed thy name continually to all the children of the earth? And now that his son Isaac is born to him, he has forsaken thee, and he has made a great feast for all the inhabitants of the land, and the Lord he has forgotten. For amidst all that he brought thee no offering, and neither burnt offering nor peace offering, neither ox, lamb, nor goat of all that he killed on the day that his son was weaned. For from the time of his son's birth till now, being 37 years, he built no altar before thee, nor brought any offering to thee. For he saw that thou didst give what he requested before thee, and he therefore forsook thee. And the Lord said to Satan, Hast thou, I'm going to just put it just like Job. I'm going to put just like Job on the side. Just like Job. Hast thou seen Abraham, the son of Terah? For, and from the time of his son's birth till now, being 37 years, he built no altar before thee, nor brought any offering to thee. For he saw that thou didst give what he requested before thee, and he therefore forsook thee. And the Lord said to Satan, Hast thou thus considered my servant Abraham? What you know about my boy Abraham, man? You don't know nothing about my boy Abraham. For there is none like him upon earth, a perfect and an upright man before me, one that feared God and avoided evil. And as I live, were I to say unto him, bring up Isaac, thy son, before me, he would not withhold him from me. Much more, if I told him to bring up a burnt offering before me from his flock or herds. And Satan answered the Lord and said, speak then now unto Abraham. Well, do your shit then, nigga. Well, speak to Abraham then. Man, you ain't saying nothing. Tell him go kill Isaac then. Let's see. Put your money where your mouth at, God. The nerve of Satan. And Satan answered the Lord and said, speak then now unto Abraham as thou hast said, and thou wilt see whether he will not this day transgress or cast aside thy words. And we're going to stop there. That was the end of chapter 22. So we read chapters 20, 21, and 22 of the book of Jasher, because we're trying to grow, man. We're trying to grow. We're trying to seek, find, grow, read, achieve, succeed, be better. Ancient book of Jasher, as referenced in Joshua 10 and 13, 2 Samuel 1 and 18, and 2 Timothy 3 and 8. Man, it's going down. It's going down. Isaac and Ishmael going back and forth. God and Satan going back and forth. There's some shit happening. That boy, Isaac 37, talking shit. But cabbage. But it is what it is. We're going to continue to push through, roll through the pages, man. Line upon the line, here a little, there a little, till we can seek and find the things that was left behind from the ancients of days, from the old scribes, that we can help try to rearrange our mind frames, transform our thinking processes so we can see what it is and what it ain't, the cans and the can'ts, the do's and the don'ts. How are we supposed to be upright? You want the Most High to say the things about you as he has said about Abraham. Look at this. Have you considered them? Look how upright and righteous they are in my sight, man. Have you considered them? Man, what you think about my boy down there, man? My boy down there, man. That boy cold, yeah. That's how you want the Most High to look at you. But these days, I wonder how many people are still being like that. It's definitely a question. How many people still would do those things? How many people still give reverence to the Most High? The people go to church and all that. They say they go to church and they say they do the things for the Most High, but do they really, man? Do they really love the Most High like they say they do? Do they really love him like they say they do? But, time will tell. Time will tell. And if you don't, it's going to be shown. It's going to be shown through your actions, through your speech, through your morality. How it'll show whether or not you on this side or you on that side, or you trying to walk that middle. Hopefully, like Christ said, he'd rather you be hot or cold. So hopefully you're hot. Hopefully you're hot and you're all the way out there for the Lord. Hopefully. But keep reading. Take up your own books. Read for yourself. Read for yourself before you get bamboozled and hoodwinked out here. So read for yourself. And until next time, man, that was Rising Scripts for today. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, man. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Y'all be easy out there in YouTube land, man, in the world. I'm out here. Shalom out.